So, Ricky, this is Alex from whatisfromcast. My partner isn't here, but I'm speaking to Ricky P, right?
Uh-huh.
And my first question for you is, when you think of fromily, what is that mean to you?
What does the fromily mean to me? I mean, we got very lucky that, early on, when the show kind of first dropped and we were engaging with the fans on Twitter and on social media, that like the fans were engaging back. And I think what it means to be a part of the fromily is like, I've said this time and time again, the people that work on the show are just as invested in the story and is in the mystery as the fans are. And I think that that's kind of where the common ground is. Like, we want to know what happens just as much as you guys do. And so that interaction between us is I think what keeps all of us super invested.
And I love this week's episode because it talks a little bit about your backstory. And, you being the sheriff or the deputy, what was it like to have that conversation one-on-one with Harold Pano / Boyd, telling them to go part ways?
Right. I mean, so like, to the point of a little bit of the backstory, even when I first got the job, and I kind of wondered to myself, I'm like, what qualifies Kenny to be the deputy in this town? And apparently it was trauma and guilt and shame and grief, which are all great ingredients for leadership, apparently. But so to be able to shoot that scene where he actually, took on the responsibility of being Boyd's deputy was really, really cool. And of course, it only added to the entire falling out that Boyd and Kenny have at the end of episode 4. Shooting that was intense. Like, Harold is ever present, ever generous, and just always there. And I look up to Harold so much as a person, as much as Kenny looks up to Boyd. That like shooting that scene, that heartbreak, that betrayal felt like almost very, like it felt very real, and it was kind of a bizarre experience because Harold's never done anything to let me down. He's the best.
The best, and he's really holding on. Now, that said, we have this, not a theory, but we're going along the lines of the Chromonocle and the D&D type of Dungeons and Dragons type of thing.
Yep.
What do you think Kenny's role in that would be?
That is such a good question, because I always thought, what? Everyone kind of has, like, not a power, but everyone kind of has, certain attributes and skills, Victor obviously knows some things. Sarah obviously has some powers. Boyd obviously has the power of leadership and experience. And I'm like, Kenny doesn't really have a power. He's not a medic, obviously. We have a medic.
We have two.
Yeah. So we have two. And so I think, I'm like, what is Kenny's kind of power? And I do think that a big part of it is like his resilience. I think it's his tenacity, because like you said, like he's been through basically everything at this point. And I'm sure more things are to come. And yet he still finds a way to put his best foot forward.
So the scene where you and Ellis are doing the traps, and he's giving you, and then you see the woman with the spike. How was that scene? I mean, was it as scary as it looked as the viewers, or was it like, oh, we're just acting? It's a gag.
Yeah. So Patrick, who does the special effects, like a lot of the prosthetics and things on our show, he is an absolute legend, and he does such a good job that every time something like that, when we have to shoot something like that and we show up to set and we're looking at it for the first time, we're like, oh my God, that looks messed up. Like, it looks so jarringly real. And it is like a little bit like, whoa, what are we looking at here? Shooting it obviously was like a very emotional experience. Cortian, who's a really good friend of mine, we don't get a whole lot of scenes together, and so anytime we do, we really milk that. And yeah, it was like a fun experience to do together, but it was very emotionally taxing. I was dealing with some stuff in my own personal life, and this idea of this who actually plays Kelly absolutely kills it, by the way, made it all the more difficult to just have to stand there and watch someone basically have their plug pulled.
I was really upset that she didn't survive because she seemed like she was an interesting character. I want to leave you from this one. I know you're a big martial artist. I play martial arts. I say that because what you're doing is amazing. But how is your martial arts background related to the way you put into Kenny? Because it seems like there's a lot of, in the Asian culture, what do you think is there any similarities at all, or is there anything that you pull from?
Honestly, in general, the main thing I learned is discipline. I've always kind of been a lazy kid. I've always been like the work smarter, not harder. And I still kind of am, but through martial arts, going through fight camps, like the first time I competed in Muay Thai, I hated running, and my coach was like, "You gotta do it. It's probably not even the most efficient way to get your conditioning up,
right?
But you got to run because we need."
And that's all you do.
You have to do the hard thing. Yeah.
My last question is this, and I forgot about it. We always talk about your darn pants. What is with the pants? Can you get the rest of the pants there?
I need the rest of the pants. Maybe I should just cut it so that it's like shorts. Maybe I should just cut it so they become little shorts.
Well, and you've been the best, and we can't wait to see what happens to you and all heartache. Thank you so much. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much.